Hypersonic travel to get a new reality from Boat 2 by NASA, faster than a missile. The United States Air Force Office of Scientific Research has successfully launched the Boundary Layer Transitions and Turbulence project on board with a two-stage sounding rocket on the 21st March from the Wallops Test Flight Facility in Virginia from NASA. Today's video shows you the Boat 2, which is faster than a missile by NASA launch to make a new reality in hypersonic travel. But before we begin, subscribe to our channel to never miss out on more videos like this. Here we begin. After years of ground testing, NASA scientists hope to use the launch to gain flight data on the problems of hypersonic flight. Hypersonic vehicles can travel much faster than passenger jets, allowing for ultra-high flights that significantly decrease travel time. For example, the current 6 to 7 hour non-stop flight from New York to Paris will be reduced to 90 minutes. While several types of hypersonic vehicles such as SpaceX's Dragon capsule and intercontinental missiles already exist, hypersonic passenger aviation remains a pipe dream. Now, let's move on to some technical challenges related to the Boat 2 missile by NASA. Several airline companies have plans to use hypersonic jets, but technical difficulties have hindered their development. According to Scott Berry, NASA's lead researcher for the roughness experiments for Boat 2, one of the trickiest hypersonic difficulties is predicting stuff called the boundary layer transition location. According to Scott Berry, NASA's lead researcher for the roughness experiment for Boat 2. Boat 2 is a fully autonomous vehicle equipped with over 400 sensors and instruments to collect data about leakage during the experiments. The goal is to generate complex, real-world data that scientists and engineers can use to improve their model to predict transitions on hypersonic vehicles, James wrote in the conversation. When an aircraft is flying, the air that comes into contact with the vehicle's leading edge sticks to the surface, forming a thin layer around this one, and is dragged along with it. This boundary layer is significant because it contains the majority of the heating as well as the significant portions of the drag forces that slow the vehicle. This flow separation thickens along the vehicle's length, with the air near the vehicle's leading edge exhibiting smooth, laminar flow consisting of layers of air flowing parallel to the surface, which then transitions turbulent flow further downstream. There are some needs for new designs too, because of uncertainties about heating and drag. Not knowing where the flow will be tumultuous can be a big downside in vehicle designs, making them inefficient or unfeasible. Rockwell X-30, NASA's planned hypersonic spaceplane, had to be cancelled in the 1990s due to an inability to estimate its transition locations correctly. The hypersonic flight is hard to model accurately because of the interactions of various physical effects that occurs at hypersonic speeds. So, to understand everything, actual flight tests must be carried on. The first Boat flight test was launched from the Esrange Space Center in northern Sweden in June 2021. It failed, however, due to issues with its rocket launch mechanism, which prevented it from trying to reach hypersonic levels. According to AFOSR, everything learned from the telemetry data of the first Boat flight was analyzed to avoid repeating the same fate for Boat 2. In addition, there was a lot of effort put into flight stability in the design of the Boat 2 flight system. In general, the Boat 2 project will assist scientists in predicting the locations where the flow of air within the boundary layer shifts from laminar to turbulent, because turbulence is bad because it increases heat and drag. Turbulence can cause heat to evolve across the entire vehicle surface. Now, you have to worry about protecting internal electronics and things like that from that heat. Understanding and predicting turbulence associated with the heating will help us design hypersonic vehicles. Heat is the mother of all problems for hypersonics, said Dr. Sarah Popkins, AFOSR's program officer from High Speed Aerodynamics, who oversees Boat 2. According to Chris James, a hypersonics expert from the University of Queensland, the Boat 2 vehicles has complicated swept geometric features with a curved surface to represent a real hypersonic vehicle. Each vehicle side is intended to separate experiment with one smooth and one rough side. The flow running length along the vehicle is 1 meter, which is slightly longer than the original Boat. Boat 2's Extend flight experiment was scheduled to take place at Mach 6, 6 times the sound speed, whereby it would turn over in room and re-enter the atmosphere before performing a deceleration experiment at Mach 5.5. The launch was live-streamed on the Wallops YouTube page. According to the coverage, the payload kept separate from the rocket and started falling into the Atlantic Ocean as planned, indicating success. Meanwhile, China has been working to make hypersonic travel a reality. Space Transportations, a Chinese space company, announced plans for a hypersonic plane that could travel from Beijing to New York in an hour. The plane is supposed to fly at an incredible 7,000 miles per hour, with tests scheduled for next year, and scientists expect it to be ready for flight by 2024. So that's all with this video. What do you think about this Bold 2 launched by NASA that is faster than a missile? Let us know your views in the comment sections below. Stay tuned and subscribe for more videos like this. Until the next video.